Let's talk about Nio, baby. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today we're going to speak about Nio, which for a lot of people was their best performing stock over the entirety of 2020. In today's video, I want to take a little bit of a recap of what Nio has done in 2020 and how they have set themselves up so well for 2021 all the way through to 2025. In order to do that, we're going to be taking a look at a few different things, such as how their delivery numbers have been going up and up and up, how their gross margins have been going up and up, literally from being negative to double digits positive. I'm also going to bring you back in time to April, when they had to secure a $1 billion investment from China entities because they were on the verge of bankruptcy. These guys were nearly on the verge of being delisted. We're going to speak about a few of the capital raises that they've had to do outside of that as well, and how it's actually helped the business thrive in current market conditions. We'll speak a little bit about January 9th, Nio Day, their equivalent of Tesla's Battery Day. I want to speak about the China electric vehicle market, growth trends and forecast 2020 to 2025. I want to take it a little step further and speak about China's share of the GDP and reinforce the fact that China is the largest economy in the world right now, and why that could be obviously good for Nio. So right before we get into the video, my friends, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? Drop me a comment down below. I want to know, what price did you initially buy Nio at? I bought in at $14.10 a share. And please, my friend, if you are indeed new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button. If you're interested, please hit the first link in the description and sign up to my private Discord group. In there you get my buy and sell alerts. We have chats for Nio for every EV stock that we speak about in this channel. We have penny stocks, growth stocks, SPAC stocks, over 600 investors in there, and I'm doing a $1,000 cash giveaway. And if you want a few free stocks on Webull, that's the second link in the description. Open an account, deposit $100, you get some free money. But what a year it has been for Nio. Let's just take a moment to reflect. I remember watching these guys somewhere back here. I think I saw them initially in the 4s or in the 5s maybe, and then we went on a huge run up here back at the start of July. And I remember this would set the tone for how Nio worked for a considerable period of time. You'll see on the chart, we go up, we trade sideways. We go up, we come down, we trade sideways. We go up, we come down. And since then, it's been a bit crazy. So the first thing I want to do is speak about one of the most important things for any vehicle distributor, okay? Their deliveries. Makes a lot of sense. So Nio deliveries exceeded 7,000 in December, up 121% year on year. But what's really interesting is when you go ahead and look at their actual monthly deliveries. You see, January we were at 1,500, February 707. This was right when they were on the brink of potentially going bankrupt, my friends. March 1,533, and then it's been up and up and up, specifically since July. And keep in mind, guys, a lot of this was in a Roni environment. But since July we hit 3,500. We have essentially doubled our deliveries in that time. In December, reaching peaks of 7,000 deliveries. Now, I know that's still not the biggest number in the whole world for a car manufacturer, but the growth has been absolutely incredible. Look, we're looking at pretty much 10 times growth since February in regards to deliveries alone. In the last quarter of the year, Nio delivered 17,353 vehicles, representing an increase of 111% year over year and exceeding the higher end of the company's quarterly guidance. They're even beating their own guidance they're putting out there, my friends. Full year 2020 deliveries reached 43,000 units. And their battery as a service penetration reached over 40%, which is one of their unique selling points essentially. So William Li, a lot of you guys will be aware of this man, CEO, a genius, okay? 2020 has been a challenging year for the whole world. Against this backdrop, Nio has achieved consecutive record highs along the way and closed the year on a high note with remarkable December deliveries of over 7,000 vehicles. And I think every single Nio investor is going to be very, very happy with those December numbers. So these results are attributable to the growing recognition of our premium brand. Now, the fact the word premium is in there is important. The competitive and compelling products and services, the expanding sales network, and most importantly, the continuous support from our passionate and loyal user community. The 4th Nio Day, scheduled January 9th, Nio will unveil our new sedan model and share the latest development of our autonomous driving and other core technologies. January 9th is going to be big for this company. Now, in the past, we've seen Nio sell off on big news. It really has been a buy the hype, sell the news type company for whatever reason. But if you're a long-term investor such as me with this company, that doesn't really matter. If it goes up, if it goes down, as long as it goes up in the longer term, which Nio certainly has, it doesn't matter too much. But 2020 was not all sunshine and rainbows. Realistically, it was the last 5 or 6 months that went well for this company. The first half of the year was very difficult. So an article here from April 29th, okay? EV startup Nio secures a $1 billion investment from China entities. So they received this from several state-owned companies in Hefi in return for agreeing to establish headquarters in the city's economic development hotspot and giving up a stake in one of its business units. And this is an extraordinarily clear example of why sometimes raising capital, whether it be through private investments or share dilution, can be extraordinarily good for a company. A lot of people get worried when we see share dilution, which we've seen from Nio so many times this year. The most recent one being a $2.7 billion raise in December. But if you're a long-term investor, it doesn't matter. In fact, it's usually a good thing. It puts the company in a better strategic long-term position. Yes, if you're swing trading it and if you're in a short-term buy, it's a bad thing. You could lose some money, blah, blah, blah. Long-term, it's generally a good thing. Back then, the Chinese EV market wasn't looking particularly good, okay? Back then, Nio faced a series of challenges, including a downturn in the Chinese automotive market. Now, to be fair, this was essentially worldwide, particularly because of the Roni. Electric vehicle sales in China declined 4% in 2019. So this is yet again why when I see something like this, okay, they ramp up. They raised $2.7 billion in December after they've gone up in value so much. Why? To put them in a better position. It has turned into such an extremely competitive market. When you look at Tesla, okay, not just Nio, but XPeng Motors, Li Auto, all of those guys. It's competitive, so they all have to raise this capital to be competitive. I would be more worried if I saw Nio not doing this, in all honesty. Now, the Chinese electric vehicle market is anticipated to register a compound annual growth rate of over 25% during the forecast period 2020 to 2025. That is a huge growth rate, and I expect it to be true. The Chinese government wants this to happen. More than that, I believe they need it to happen. You may remember back in April, the Chinese government introduced a 10% service tax waiver for electric vehicles to boost the demand of the market, and it worked. Chinese EV sales may reach 1.8 million units in 2021. Up 40% from a year earlier. The confidence in EV sales could be attributed to stable economic growth, continuous stimulus policies on vehicle consumption, such as that 10% waiver, and sales promotions by manufacturers. Individual EV consumption, okay, has increased nearly 70% this year from 20% 2 years ago. EV sales accounted for about 60% in cities without a limit on vehicle increment, which showed there is still a large room for increasing EV sales to individual consumers. China's EV sales could reach 6 million units by 2025. That is huge. Nio is now a prominent player, a prominent name. China's share of global gross domestic product, the GDP, okay? This is 2020. Look, the growth's been immense. It's only going up and up and up. China is the largest economy in the entire world, more so than the US. So we're speaking about Nio, okay? A prominent name who is government backed and who is also investor backed. Let's be honest, people love these guys' story. Who are operating in the world's largest economy during an EV boom, who have shown that they can raise capital without it affecting their share price negatively whatsoever, who are delivering more and more and more vehicles on a monthly basis consistently for essentially half a year, who have gotten their gross margins from negative to in the double-digit positives. It makes sense that we expect Nio to do very well over the next year to 5+ years. So now we're having a quick look at Nio's price action over the last long while. I mean, we've been covering this on the channel for a very, very long time. A lot of you probably remember the middle of October, JPM upped their price target. I made a video, a lot of people didn't agree with me speaking about, you know, there may be a little bit of manipulation going on here. JPM have a history of it. And since then, they went on an insane run up. And I was one of very few people who said, you know, I didn't particularly like buying it at these prices, you know, in the short term, the 45s, the 50s, the 55s. And you know, yeah, there was some considerable pullbacks. Pretty much the lowest we got to was just below 40 on a couple of occasions. But a lot has changed since those videos went up. I think people need to understand that as well. Nio has done a lot of things over the last couple of months since I would have had those thoughts. I do think they're in a fantastic position to grow for the next year, 5 years. I do still think short term there is going to be manipulation here by the big players, by JPM and some of the other guys as well. But I do ultimately think that Nio is now at a stage where they're going to do incredibly well. I want you guys to think about Tesla for a second, okay? They've done incredibly well. How volatile are they? How many 10-15% days do these guys have in the last 6 months? I think Nio is a stock who we can expect to move somewhat similar in all honesty. But again, if you're like me and you could see yourself holding these guys for 3, 4, 5+ years, you're going to be okay with that volatility. Now, ultimately, not an awful lot has happened in pretty much 2 months. I mean, if you go back to the start of November, yeah, we were consistently at around 39 to maybe even 45. As of recording this, we're right around the $48 mark. We've been as high as the 55, we've been as low as the 38. There's been a huge area of consolidation. I'm hoping that Nio Day, January 9th, can be the next catalyst we need. Wouldn't surprise me at all if it's an initial downward move followed by an upward spike, but now we're getting into the short-term mindset. We don't need to worry about it too much. What would my price targets be? I think it's very hard to say for 1 year. However, I do think Nio has the potential to be a 5x company in the next 3 to 5 years. I also think they could beat that, which would be representing a $250 to maybe even $300 share price. Now, that's not me saying that that's going to happen this year. I really don't believe it will. But over the next 3 to 5 years, I very much so think that is a very real possibility with the rate of growth we're seeing by the company, with the government backing, with the Chinese economy. I think everything's fallen into their lap. But anyway, guys, that is my thoughts on Nio with a long-term outlook and why I believe 2021 is going to be a very good year for this company. If you watch this video all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Your support means the world to me. If I could ask you to hit that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, and please subscribe if you're new around here. All of that helps me out so much. And again, if you are interested in joining that private Discord group, I promise you won't regret it. It's so juicy, so much information. Again, over 50 private channels, 600 investors, my buy and sell alerts. It's awesome. And we're doing a $1,000 cash giveaway, and I mean, people like cash. And if you want your 4 free stocks on Webull, that's the second link in the description, my friends. Anyway, guys, I'll see you for another video very soon. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Peace.